It has been, of course, a roller coaster of emotions, of numbers, and of fortunes on verdict day so far. The BJP-led NDA were projected to surpass the 2019 tally of 350 by almost all exit posters. Some posters that even expressed confidence that the Prime Minister's claim of 400 par will come true. The reality so far, as you can see in the bottom of your screens, is in stark contrast to what was compared in the predictions. The leads and results indicate that Narendra Modi is on course to become a prime minister for a record equaling third term. There's no disputing that. He will likely come back as prime minister because the NDA has the numbers on this side. As you can see, they have 294 currently. That number's been oscillating in the 290s for much through the day, and that's clearly above the 272 mark required for majority. However, unlike 2019, unlike even 2014, the future of the BJP and the fate of the Narendra Modi government is in the hands of its allies, specifically two alliance partners who have done very well this time. Chandrababu Naidu, who's set to be Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister because he's done well in the Andhra state elections as well, and Nitish Kumar, who's already Bihar Chief Minister. Both these leaders have a track record of switching sides and have dumped the BJP before over Narendra Modi. So what do the 2024 polls mean for India's netas? Let's look at what it means to the key leaders and the big faces of this election. First, let's focus on what it means to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There is no doubting the fact that this result is a big dent on Prime Modi because this election was fought in the Prime Minister's name. And as a result, Modi ki guarantee has failed to take BJP home to its 400 level mark or its 400 level target. Most importantly, in Varanasi itself, where the Prime Minister was the sitting candidate eyeing a third term, the margin of victory has dropped by 60%. That is of immense concern to the BJP. Let's now focus on what it means for Rahul Gandhi. The big headline for the Congress Gandhi sign is that he has retained his family bastion of Rai Bareli with a thumping victory, which proves that the Congress party is far from being a spent force, and also there is resonance of Congress's guarantees. And as a result, he has led the Congress to its best tally in Uttar Pradesh since 2009. Has he buried the ghosts of 2014 and 2019? Some would say they have made a huge step in that direction. What about Smriti Irani? The giant killer who slayed the giant of Rahul Gandhi in Amethi has been a giant today who's been slayed herself. She has faced a humbling defeat to a Gandhi family aide, not even Rahul Gandhi himself. She's gone from being the giant killer to the fallen giant. Then there's Uddhav Thackeray. He has successfully claimed the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray, and he's also gotten the backing of the Marathi Manus, and that sets the tone for what's going to come in Maharashtra later on this year, assembly elections. It's the same story for Sharad Pawar as well. Ousted from his party, deprived of his party symbol, he has cut nephew Ajit Pawar to size and has showcased that he is still the kingpin of Maratha politics by winning the family bastion Baramati in style. Finally, Mamata Banerjee. Her bastion of West Bengal is safe. There are all the questions about BJP making inroads, they've all been proved false. And as a result, it is established that Sandesh Khali is no Nondigram for Mamata Banerjee. And then there's Chandrababu Naidu. He is a man who's been in politics for 25 years. He has seen the ups and the downs. He has been down and out several times. Many people have written him off, but he has come back in style, and he has done that again this time. He has swept aside Jagan's YSR Congress party, both in the assembly elections and in the Lok Sabha elections, and he is the undisputed kingmaker. And then Akhilesh Yadav, the man who was ridiculed and mocked and underestimated by a lot of politicians from the BJP gang and posters. He stunned the BJP with a stunning comeback in Uttar Pradesh. His pitch of paper leaks, inflation has worked wonders. He has even thwarted the BJP in Ayodhya in the constituency of Faizabad. For Yogi Adityanath, this is a setback for bulldozer politics. The polarizing pitch that was built in Uttar Pradesh has failed, and it remains to be seen as to whether the BJP will course correct in Uttar Pradesh. Those are what are, in a nutshell, what the big faces have been in the election and what the verdict so far means for all of them. I'm being joined by a litany of guests. Thank you so much for joining me. Vinita Hariharan, spokesperson of the BJP, Sujata Paul, spokesperson of the Congress, Pugad Gandhi, spokesperson of the DMK, Tariq Khan, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Tavleen Singh, senior journalist, Ruhi Tiwari, senior journalist, and Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, also senior journalist, joining me at this point. I'll go to Vinita Hariharan, who's joining us first. Vinita, to begin with, yes, I will first commend the BJP for. Okay, we've just lost Vinita at this point, but let me try if Sujata Paul, spokesperson of the Congress party, is with us at this point. Sujata Paul, if you can hear me, congratulations. It seems to be quite a significantly improved performance from the Congress party. You have doubled your tally in 2019 at this point, but you've come quite close, but yet no cigar, as they say. You are still about 40 short of the mark here. Is the Congress party going to, or at least as the India bloc, going to concede defeat to the BJP?
Well, I think today we need to thank the Janta Janardhan of this country. There was one man who thought he was God and he was making pawns out of people. And today the people of India have told him that he is the pawn and they are the Janta Janardhan. So we thank the people of the country today. And the fact that the results have proved that Bharatiya Janata Party and its announcement of 400 was really such a farce, and we knew it, and we were screaming our lungs out on every channel that all your analysis, all your exit polls are false. We have been proved correct today, and I rejoice in the fact that that people have stood up and given their verdict also, but the game is not yet over. We have taken the constitution to the people, and people have respected our constitution, and it is not Modi ji's constitution that they want India's constitution. And that is why we need to wait for some more time, because I don't think we've seen Mr. Modi yet. Let's wait and hear what he has to say. Has he conceded defeat, or does he think that he will still form the government? We are waiting to see that.
The Prime Minister does not need to concede defeat. So far, the numbers are in favor. And let's put it this way, yes, perhaps, and I'll put that question across to Vinita as well when she joins us. Yes, maybe the BJP has been a victim of its own hubris and a victim of its own hype machine. But if you remove the 400 power hype, coming back to power, facing 10 years of anti-incumbency, coming back to power for a third term and getting a majority on its own as an alliance, it's not a mean feat.
Oh, really? Is that so? When you have the ED, the CBI, the income tax, and you have a whole lot of Godi media with you, then you call this not a mean feat? Well, we know exactly how what they did in Surat, what they did in Khajuraho, Indore. So for Mr. Modi, it was all about himself. And yes, it is not BJP's defeat, it is Modi ji's defeat more than it is the BJP's defeat. But when I say that the game is not yet over and Mr. Modi needs to come out, we need to know whether his allies are still with him, because it doesn't really behove well unless the public gets to know whether the allies are still with them or not. Because who would want to stand with a dictator? Time will tell. However, I must say that Rahul Gandhi ji's Bharat Jodo Yatra and Bharat Jodo Nyay Yatra have given confidence to people, and that is why people have managed to rise and come out in the open. And you look at the celebrations today. I heard some media persons talking amongst themselves, and you know what they said? They said, "Ye jeet kar bhi ye haar gaye." That itself says a lot.
Okay, Sujata Paul, stay on with us. Before I go across to my senior journalists also joining us, Tavleen Singh, Ruhi Tiwari and Nilanjan as well, let me go into the party which in my opinion has been the man of the match so far. And we have Tariq Khan joining us as national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Tariq Khan, what was the secret of Akhilesh Yadav's success in Uttar Pradesh? Because let's be honest, fine, a lot of pollsters, opposition party, I mean your opposition in the BJP, none of them had predicted this spectacular victory. Many people are saying that the Congress's show in Uttar Pradesh is also because of the back of the Samajwadi Party's splendid performance here at this point. Do you feel that this is a moment of vindication for your party and for Akhilesh Yadav?
Listen, first of all, full credit to the people of the state. They believe in our leadership, in Akhilesh. What he delivered, what he convincingly delivered to the message, that we'll work for the formula that is PDA. That was very successfully delivered to the people of the state. Point number one. Point number two. What Modi ji said, Modi ji called us Shehzada. When people voted for somebody, they became Shahzada. So today, Akhilesh ji actually became Shahzada of the people, by the people, to the people. That is the basic fundamental of democracy. Point number two, who will take the responsibility of this defeat? Either it would be Modi ji or Yogi ji. As he said, that the agendas of state is being discussed in central election, when your 5 to 6 cabinet minister has already lost in Uttar Pradesh, who will take the responsibility? A seat just adjacent to Banaras, that is Chandoli, Mahendra Nath Pandey, the cabinet minister, has already lost. Who will take the responsibility? I think the CM and the PM should come up front and they should take responsibility that why they have lost Uttar Pradesh. And as our leadership has been decided, we believe in the leadership of Akhilesh ji, and we are from the bottom of our heart will thank the people of the state that they have shown full faith in the leadership of Akhilesh ji. There was nobody when Akhilesh ji won, we have won in 2012. They said that was because of Netaji Mulayam Singh Yadav was there. Now there is nobody. Only Akhilesh ji's leadership. These people have come forward and shows that we believe in the leadership of Akhilesh ji, and our regular contact with the people. They said they have Panna promo call that 6 people on every page. Where are they? And people have also said one thing that is very important.
Let me put that question, Tariq Khanji. Let me put that question across. Both Sujata Paul and Tariq Khan are saying that this is a defeat for the BJP. Both Narendra Modi in India and Yogi Adityanath in Uttar Pradesh. Tavleen Singh, senior journalist with us. Tavleen Singh, do you see it the same way? Is this really a defeat for the BJP given the fact that they are, after all, set to come back to power if the numbers hold, and they have been holding so for almost the entire day so far? Or is it a loss of pace because they promised so much and ultimately delivered well short of expectations?
It's, in my view, a defeat, particularly for Narendra Modi and for Yogi Adityanath. Because I really think that the most important results in this election have come from Uttar Pradesh. Nobody expected that the BJP would lose that many seats in UP because both Yogi and Modi were showing such a complete faith in a very divisive communal campaign which they ran. And it's a very good thing for India that the communalization of electoral politics has now really been rejected. So, it's a victory really, most of all, for the people of India.
But so, Tavleen Singh, the 3 headlines, you focused on Uttar Pradesh, and the 3 headlines that come to me from Uttar Pradesh, which are really damning. One is that the BJP loses Amethi to someone who is seen as someone who is a family loyalist of a Gandhi, not even to a Gandhi family member. And after the entire song and dance of what happened 5 years ago. Second, the party loses Faizabad, which has Ayodhya, the entire epicenter of the Ram Temple movement. After all that we saw in January this year, the party doesn't even hang on to Ayodhya. And finally, as you pointed out, so far, the BJP can try and spin it a narrative around the different local issues which resulted in anti-incumbency against the local leadership. But the fact still remains that the Prime Minister's victory margin in Varanasi, he's just won, by the way, but his victory margin is not to the extent of what was expected, and for perspective, it's even lower than Rahul Gandhi. So do you feel that this was actually also an anti-Modi vote that happened, especially in Uttar Pradesh, Tavleen Singh?
I think it absolutely was, because actually Modi he's turned it into a referendum on himself, because the BJP was really second fiddle to Modi. Everything was Modi's guarantees. Even the manifesto of the BJP had Modi on it. So really, there's no question that the Prime Minister will have to accept that this is a humbling of himself.
Okay.
And, let's hope that he learns from this, and, that we now have more inclusive politics from him if he becomes Prime Minister again. But it certainly is a personal defeat for him and for Yogi Adityanath, who ran, who invented actually one of the ugliest things that I have seen in India, which is called bulldozer justice, and which actually targeted only one community. So both these men, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and the Prime Minister of India, have to accept a personal reason for this. And, whether we like it or not, even if, Modi becomes Chief Minister again, it is a defeat. It is a personal defeat for him.
Okay, so Tavleen Singh is agreeing with Sujata Paul and Tariq Khan, saying that this is a defeat for the BJP, Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath. We'll come back to my remaining guests, Pugat Gandhi, Rohit Tiwari, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay joining me very patiently. But first, we've got some news coming in. There's drama outside Chandigarh. And this is what the Congress party has been alleging for the past while or so from Jairam Ramesh's tweet and all. Now we've got visuals of the Congress staging a protest over a delay in result declaration in Chandigarh. Remember, Chandigarh is where senior Congress leader Manish Tiwari has been leading for pretty much the entire day. And now we see that the Congress is now staging a protest because they feel that the results in Chandigarh are being inordinately delayed. Now, why this is significant is because Chandigarh is the same place where a few months ago there was a massive controversy over a local body election being allegedly manipulated after the actions of the polling officer were exposed, and as a result the result was voided here. But that is the big story coming in here from Chandigarh as well, and we'll try and connect to my colleague Amandeep for more details at this point. Anyway, that's what we're getting in from Congress. We'll go back to Amandeep if we get gotten back with us. But I'd like to bring in Rohit Tiwari and Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay at this point as well. Rohit Tiwari, the big debate, the big talking point which comes out at this point is that forget 2019. This is worse than 2014 for the BJP, because for the first time, the BJP under Narendra Modi has to deal with the reality that it needs allies to cross the mark. Yes, it's always been at the helm of an alliance, but in both the previous elections, the BJP had crossed 272 on its own. This time, that's not the reality. And it has to rely on two leaders, Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu, who have had a history of dumping the BJP over Narendra Modi in the past year. How is the BJP planning to walk that tightrope in your assessment? Rohit Tiwari.
Well, that is going to be an interesting thing to see, because we don't have much precedence of the BJP, of Narendra Modi's BJP working in a coalition government. But if you leave aside the allies for a minute and you look at just the BJP, what the BJP needs to try and understand is that this over-reliance on the Prime Minister has its limits. You've won many elections in his name, many state elections. You won the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. But you cannot keep doing that, because when someone's popularity peaks, the next thing that can happen to it... Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go on. We can hear you, Rui. We can hear you, Rui. Please continue. Okay, I think Rui can't hear us, but we could hear her speak as well. We'll try and restore that. But Nilanjan, would you like to take that point forward here? Do you think that the BJP erred by relying too much on Narendra Modi?
No, that is the way the BJP has always been under Mr. Narendra Modi, relying. That's the politics of Mr. Modi. So there is no other possibility, no other option besides that. Otherwise, Mr. Modi would not be in the party and play second fiddle to somebody else and promote a collegial style of leadership. This issue of that how comfortable would he be with dealing with the new allies, and how comfortable will the allies be in dealing with him? There is a certain history to it. The BJP, even when Mr. Modi is not actually leading the coalition, does not actually have a very good history of being able to run a coalition very smoothly. Look at what happened with its relationship with Shiv Sena, with the original Shiv Sena. The problem is that the BJP makes an entry into a state, where there is a fairly strong regional party, and then starts to nibbling at the core voter support, voter base of that particular party. That is what happened with Nitish Kumar. That is why at that time he went away from the BJP, also factored by the fact that Mr. Modi had been chosen as the leader of the BJP, but there has been an history. So we really have to see that the new Mr. Narendra Modi, how does he actually deal with allies? This is completely against the grain of his own personality. Most important to see and track over the next few months.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest takeaway at this point here. It's something which even the BJP will now have to evolve and will have to take on board allies at this point. And will these allies stay with the BJP? Will more allies stay with the India alliance? Because let's be honest, that is an even more of a assortment of different political parties who have been at war with each other. But one place where at least the Congress has never had any alliance problems, and that party has done spectacularly well once again, is the DMK. Pugat Gandhi, thank you for waiting very patiently with us at this point. The big talking point at this point was for the elections as to the rise of BJP in Tamil Nadu, especially under Annamalai, who many people were seeing as the firebrand young leader. At the end of the day, it has come to naught. But if there's one takeaway which comes from Tamil Nadu, it is the fact that perhaps the BJP now, going by the vote share, is now your number one opposition and has eclipsed the AIDMK. So do you see that as an end to the traditional Dravidian politics of Dravid Munnetra Kadagam versus Anna Dravid Munnetra Kadagam? Do you think that being finally coming to an end?
First of all, I don't know from where you got the numbers that BJP is closing in as number 2 party in the state. It is not so. In many places, BJP today have contested for at 21 places. Out of these 21 places, they were not even able to cross 1 lakh votes in 14 seats. Total votes today, as of now, polled for BJP, somewhere close to 24 lakh votes. Whereas in 2019, when BJP contested alone, they polled around 15.5 lakhs, which means the numbers have not gone up drastically because of the addition of the new voters in this particular election. Last year, in the last elections, when they contested, it was 3.5%. This time, it will be somewhere close to 5%. That's it, in spite of having contested for more than 21 seats. So Annamalai is not at all a factor, and BJP is not at all a rival or even a competitor for any Dravidian party in the state. This state is ruled by the Dravidian parties for the last 50 years, and only those parties which adhere to the principles of social justice and to the ideals of Anna and Periyar will be able to do it. Even today, there was high level of projections that Mr. Annamalai will win hands down, and even he was giving interviews, and he was occupying the social media space saying that the DMK will lose its deposit. But even Annamalai couldn't win. So where is the question of the Saffron party getting inroads in Tamil Nadu? It is not at all possible. Today, even in the national level, when you talk about the national level, this is an end of an authoritarian rule. Because even if Modi come back to power, it will not be the same Modi who was ruling this country for the last 10 years. Now, Mr. Modi has to be at the beck and call of Mr. Naidu or Mr. Nitish Kumar. He cannot be so authoritarian. So this election is an eye-opener. The communal divide, the communal politics is coming to an end. Even BJP lost its battle in Ayodhya, where they tried to divide Hindu-Muslim, and inside the Hindu-Muslim...
In fact, Mr. Gandhi, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have just been joined by the BJP guest, and we're awaiting a Congress press conference shortly. So I just want to get the BJP guest so far, because we've heard all parties except the BJP. Vinita is finally with us. Thank you so much for joining us at this point, Vinita. The focus at this point is that this is a massive loss of face for the BJP. Almost all our panelists and the opposition party leaders have said that this is a loss of face for the BJP, especially for Narendra Modi at the center and Yogi Adityanath at the state. Now, at the end of the day, you've still won a third term, and you're still coming back to power if the numbers hold. But was the BJP a victim of its own hubris by promising 400 par, which is why this figure now looks very insignificant at this point?
So, this question for me?
Yes, Vinita, it is for you. Okay, I think we've lost that connection with Vinita Hariharan, but we'll try and restore it. What we'll do is we'll head in for a short break, but we'll continue this debate on the other side. Stay on with us. Welcome back. You're watching Verdict Day coverage on Mirror Now. The brass tacks is that the number you see on your screens is where they stand at this point. The India is set to come back to par if the numbers hold. They've got 294. They needed just 272. But it is a pretty impressive performance by the India bloc as well, which has got around 230 seats as well. And we are now awaiting a press conference by Rahul Gandhi and Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, in which they will hear from the Congress party for the first time officially after the results are out. But we are still discussing it with my panel of guests. I'm very glad to be joined in the studio by Karan Verma, author and political analyst as well. Karan, welcome to the show. You have been with us since morning. Absolutely. And you've got a ringside view as well of what's been happening at this point. How do you read these developments here? Because Sujata Paul, Pugar Gandhi and Tariq Khan, they insist that this is a loss for the BJP. And it is a loss for Narendra Modi because his margin of victory has been cut down in Varanasi. It's a loss for Yogi Adityanath. It's a loss for them in the Hindi heartland. At the end of the day, they're still coming back to power. Absolutely. But are they a victim of their own hubris by promising 400 and then not even delivering 300?
Look, let's have some perspective here. All said and done, after the dust has settled, BJP remains the single largest party, 243 seats. Nobody is even remotely close. Nobody is half of the BJP in terms of as a political party. So yes, they haven't lived up to the expectations, but those were such tall expectations. Only BJP is the only party that has had 272 seats in the last 30 years. So they've been beaten by their own standard. Others, they are still heads and shoulders above them. Mr. Modi is still all set to return as the Prime Minister, Modi 3.0. And the fact that someone is elected as Prime Minister for the third time is a historic feat in itself. So let's not lose focus of that. Yes, the opposition succeeded in making this election as localized as possible, which is where the anti-incumbency against the local leaders came into the play. And people, even though they weren't as such disillusioned or disenchanted with Mr. Modi, the local factors came into play. And also the 400 par slogan, let's be honest, it backfired. Because then people thought, Modi ji ke to aa hi jayenge, 399 aa jayenge, we'll vote our MP out. Modi ji is still going to win. That is where it backfired. Otherwise, I did not see a palpable anti-incumbency against the Prime Minister. And it's not that that's why he's 2.5 times bigger than the next political party in the fray. So even this all speculation that whether Nitish Kumar or Chandrababu Naidu will chip away or what, they are all going to coalesce around the singular force of BJP because it is the only tall force that exists. Congress is at 97
but Karan,
seats.
It doesn't add up for 3 reasons. Number one, I don't buy the argument that if BJP wins, it's credit to Narendra Modi. If BJP loses, it's
so
credit.
They haven't lost.
No, I mean, if it doesn't perform well, I mean, the places where they've lost, it's because of local leadership. Places where they've won, that's because of BJP. It's an argument which at one point the Congress used to make with the Gandhi family, and I'm glad they've left that.
It's different. Yeah.
The second thing is, two reasons. Second point is, if it comes down to bad candidate selection, again, it reflects on the leadership. Third point is, if it was really a vote against the local leadership, the Prime Minister struggled early morning in Varanasi. His margin of victory is less than Rahul Gandhi's margin of victory in Rai Bareli. So, can you really say that there was no anti-Modi vote at all?
I don't think there was an anti-Modi wave. Otherwise, we would have not seen the Prime Minister romp past 243 seats for the BJP. I mean, there's just 29 short of a majority. You understand how big that would have been as a feat 10 years back.
Okay.
Just because Mr. Modi has normalized getting 272 above, just as Virat Kohli has normalized getting centuries for fun, doesn't mean 60 or 70 odd is a bad performance by any stretch. So it wasn't a bad performance. Okay. Wherever there have been lacunas, it's because of local factors. Unlike the Congress where they are routed off and they still blame the local factors, I'm saying BJP has not been routed off. It's coming back to power. Yes, their wings are a little clipped because of the local factors, which I'll tell you what, they will very soon course correct. It's a dynamic party.
The BJP will beat the BJP, not the Congress or other parties.
I think BJP lagged behind in their ticket distribution. There were lots of factions which weren't happy with the candidates who got the tickets. How do you justify BJP losing in Ayodhya? How do you justify that?
There are explanations which I guess are put on. Sujata Paul, I'd bring you in on that point. At the end of the day, the BJP by itself has won more seats than the rest of the India alliance if these numbers hold at this point. How do you respond? How do you respond to those claims that it's the BJP's own hubris and miscalculation which resulted in not credit of the India bloc?
Everybody is contesting on the name of Modi ji. So, Bhagwan Ram has kicked Modi ji out of Ayodhya. That itself speaks a lot. And the fact is that if you look at his victory
Sujata,
margin,
just for 1 second, if I may dare interrupt. We were just showing visuals of Rahul Gandhi. Ek second. Sujata ji, just 1 second. I'm sure you won't grudge me for this. We were just showing visuals of Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi who have reached the Congress headquarters, and we expect a press conference to come from them shortly. With these visuals, Sujata ji, please go on and continue your point.
Yes, you know, Mahamanav, God himself, incarnate or believes that he is incarnate, has won by a margin of 1,52,513. Mr. Ajay Rai has got 4,60,457 votes. That itself speaks a lot about Mr. Modi's popularity in Kashi. And Rahul Gandhi ji on both the seats is very close to 4 lakhs, and these are still leagues. So the fact is that this is Mr. Modi's loss and nobody else's, because on every seat he was contesting, and the way he treated his own allies, let's just wait. No, let's hold our guns, because you don't know which allies are going to stay. Don't you remember how at one point of time they thought they would get the Mahayuti in place of the there's a disturbance, can you please correct it? In Maharashtra. So in Maharashtra, what did we see? We saw that the Mahayuti was brought in by breaking the Shiv Sena and the NCP. So let's wait and watch, and let's see what happens. Because if you go and break your allies, then those allies will break you. And ultimately, that's what's going to happen with him.
Okay, let's bring in my Samajwadi Party guest as well. Tariq Khan, I want you to respond to Karan's assessment that the reason why a party like BJP lost Ayodhya or Faizabad, to be more precise, the birthplace of the Ram Temple movement, is because of strategic calculations which went wrong for the party, and not because of the work by the Samajwadi Party, which actually won that seat. How do you respond to that, Tariq Khan?
I have nothing to say on that. It's just the people believe.
Go on, Tariq Khan.
And it's just, am I audible? It's just the belief of the people.
Yes, please go on, Tariq Khan.
That people have shown belief in Samajwadi Party. And I just want to go back to the basics of civics. What somebody is saying, just I have listened to the panelist. He said that the BJP is just 27 far from the majority, that is 272. So by how many votes Vajpayee government had lost? That was 1 vote. So in parliamentary type of democracy, we need to learn civics and understand the importance of each and every member of parliament. It's not a presidential type of democracy, which you have been, or the people like you or BJP have tried to make India. There is importance of elected MPs, and they have been elected and they will be elected. And on the basis of the floor test, it will be decided, because it is the first time after 2014 BJP haven't got the majority. Last time that was 303. Now presently where it will hold, we have to wait and watch. But my friend, we have to wait for the floor test, and we as well have to wait because Chandrababu Naidu promised reservation, 4% reservation to Muslims. Now, BJP and Modi has said that they are against that reservation, and time and again, Chandrababu Naidu has said this. So, whether BJP is going to hold that stand, or for the satta or for the power, they will compromise everything, as they have already compromised, and they have been compromising. So there has been a lot of things to go ahead. Just like Nitish promised Jatigat Jangarna. BJP denied it at the floor of parliament. They will never have that Jatigat Jangarna at the center level, because Jatigat Jangarna is ultimately done by the central government, not by the state government. So these are the key issues. We have to wait tight and see that what is in the future course of action. And the present situation is this, that BJP alone haven't got that mandate. People have voted against BJP. People have shown faith in Akhilesh-ji, in the leadership of Samajwadi Party.
Let me bring in Rohit Tiwari on that note. let me bring in Rohit Tiwari on that note. Rohit, I hope you can hear us now. You had lost us for a few seconds earlier. Is that going to be Prime Minister, and I'm assuming he's going to be Prime Minister for a third time, the numbers say that. Is that going to be Narendra Modi's biggest challenge going forward, running a coalition in which this time the numbers actually do matter, something which he had the luxury of not wondering, not caring about in 2014 and 2019? Because as the previous panelist, as Mr. Tariq Khan pointed out, there are differing agendas. For instance, the issue of minority quota, which Chandrababu Naidu has come out and has said that he is in favor of. How will the BJP form a common minimum program? These are issues which the Prime Ministers never had to deal with.
Correct. And actually, to be fair, it's even more jarring compared to 2019, because 2014, he was still a new prime minister. They were still trying to consolidate power. They were still trying to get a hang of Delhi, of running the country. In 2019 and onwards is when they actually consolidated power and became the strong force that they did at the center. Often brazenly, pushing through policies, agenda, etc., etc. So compared to that, this is going to be a huge challenge. The BJP cannot continue to do what its top command wants at its whim. Will have to take allies along, and I think that is what coalition dharma is all about. I mean, the BJP did manage to do exceedingly well in 2019 and not have to deal with coalition parties and coalition dharma. But this is going to be a challenge, particularly because of the way the BJP under Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah has shaped up. The question, however, is how far are its allies willing to go to keep the BJP in check? Are they going to sort of keep the BJP in check, raise their voice when needed, or are they going to just continue playing second fiddle and say that it's fine, do what you want to, and we'll only step in when something really, really big happens?
Karan Verma, how do you see the BJP navigating alliance arithmetic?
All said and done, BJP remains the single biggest force around which I believe it's only natural. Look, alliances, all said and done, alliance partners are opportunistic. We all know that. Let's talk real in the pragmatic world of politics. So they all understand that if there is one alliance which can actually form a party, form a government and run it for 5 years, it's the BJP, the NDA government. So all of them, whether it's Chandrababu Naidu, whether it's Nitish Kumar, they are eventually going to coalesce around the BJP. They know that even if they, even for a minute, start thinking about the India alliance, it'll fall apart. Just a couple of hours back, we saw the posters doing rounds, Akhilesh for PM. Then we saw somebody say this one, Nitish Kumar for PM, then others. So, abhi gaon basa nahi hai, lutere aa gaye. That is the saying. So, they will not be able to walk the distance. It was fine coming together for whatever little period they came, but they cannot possibly give a stable government which will have some consequence. So, both these partners, whether it's Nitish Kumar or Chandrababu Naidu, they will understand that true opportunity lies with the BJP. Yes, their negotiating power, their bargaining power has gone up, but they'll still come to the BJP.
That's interesting. But I'll just get in one response from Pugar Gandhi as well, because Mr. Gandhi, the response, the statement, the view that is coming in at this point is that the India alliance cannot be trusted to hold its flock together enough to manage to challenge, to mount a sustained challenge in terms of alliance versus alliance to the BJP, whether it be now or sometime during the next 5 years, because there are too many egos wanting to be prime ministers, wanting to have a lion-shaped portfolio. How do you respond to that?
No, it's not a question of India alliance getting a lion's share portfolio or anything. It is a matter whether BJP on its own, whether Mr. Narendra Modi will become the prime minister, because today the situation is, even there will be opposition within the NDA and opposition within the BJP for Mr. Narendra Modi to become the prime minister. The principal opposition will be from people like Mr. L.K. Advani and Subramanian Swamy, because they are all the leaders who are waiting for a time to take on Mr. Modi, for the simple reason that how Mr. Modi treated them in 2014 and 2019. So, the Mr. Modi, even if he becomes the prime minister, the first question is whether he can become the prime minister, whether he can become the parliamentary leader of the BJP. That is going to be the talking point in the coming days. And secondly, even if he becomes the prime minister, he will not be the same Mr. Narendra Modi as he was before. He cannot be authoritarian. He will have to listen to his own alliance partners, and he has to answer the parliament, he has to answer the cabinet, and he has to answer the coalition partners. And once a government significantly reduces its numbers, even the institutions will become more or less independent, because like the Honorable Supreme Court or maybe EDs or CBIs, they will not be falling in line like what was happening before from 2014 to 2012 till today. So it is going to be a tough time for Mr. Modi, and Mr. Modi cannot be the same Modi again.
Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, do you agree with the view that we are now gone back to a state of coalition politics where egos have to be kept in check, other opinions have to be taken on board, whether it be allies or opposition, and you cannot steamroll through legislations or important decisions through parliament anymore on the forces of brute majority? You will have to literally take all views on board and be a party of Sabka Saath and Sabka Vikas.
No, you have to actually refer bills to standing committees, which has been virtually, stopped in the last 10 years. You have to become much more, your approach has to become much more consensual. Try to reach out and reach out for dialogue. These are all skills, we will have to see new skills of Mr. Modi. Nobody has ever seen him work with coalition partners, work with the opposition parties, keep things under control. There would be all kinds of messages going on. It is not a very pleasant situation for the BJP that its target was 370 seats for itself, and it ended up winning only about 240 seats or maybe even less than that. So that's a huge shortfall. So there would obviously be a lot of pressure from various places, and Mr. Modi will have to really come with new skills, which I'm not very sure that how effective they would be, whether he would be able to carry everybody along together or not. And we now have a very peculiar kind of number game in Parliament, where it might quite be possible for an alternative government to be formed. I would not say that much can happen in 5 years. Between 2024 and 2029, much can happen, and many of the things which have been planned is not going to happen. I do not, for instance, see an immediate rollout of one nation, one poll anymore. Definitely there will be greater challenges for it. So there are all kinds of issues, all plans which have been made by Mr. Modi, which will be checked. He had very loftily said he had ordered every department of his secretaries in various departments, 100-day plans to be made. Those have to be very carefully scrutinized. He just cannot rush and announce them. He'll have to take everybody on board. That's going to be quite a challenge.
Okay, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, thank you for joining us at this point. We are cutting across